Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. I am Tony Abatey. Thanks again for joining us this evening here on our broadcast as the Fort Scott Tiger football team gets ready to play the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. We'll have all the coverage for you here on Duckbait TV. Thanks again for joining us this evening. We have a brand new camera that just got in this week, and so we hope to have a much better picture for you on our screens tonight. And the contingent of Tiger faithful just to my left is here in full throat this evening with their cowbells, and they're ready for a big-time rivalry contest here tonight against the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. Again, this game is no longer a league game on the football schedule, as Pittsburgh has not been a part of the SEK in league play for a long time. They're kind of a little bit like Notre Dame in that fact. They're not a part of any conference for football, as they play quite a few 5A schools as they get closer towards the playoffs and try to prepare themselves to play in the playoffs. But they still have a few of these games on the schedule, like Fort Scott, Chanute, and, of course, they played Labette County last week and won. So the Tigers just came out of the locker room, and we're about to get the coin toss here this evening. Again, thanks for joining us here on Duckbait TV. As really happy to be able to bring you these games here this evening, as the Fort Scott Tigers will be in their all-white uniforms. Looks like brand new Adidas brand uniforms. Pittsburgh, of course, will be in their purple tops with the purple helmets and the white pants. It is also homecoming tonight for Pittsburgh, so a great opportunity for the Tigers to spoil the Purple Dragon homecoming. And we'll see how the Tigers look here this evening, as they are coming in at 2-1. They lost to Paola in week 1, of course, but had a huge second half, a huge fourth quarter, in fact. Outscored Paola in that fourth quarter 3 weeks ago, 22-0. Came back and ended up losing 34-28. Then in week 2, their first home game, they defeated Springfield Central out of Springfield, Missouri. 42-12 was the final score there. And then last week, offense took a little while to get going, but they did win 14-6 over Independence. So they started at SEK League play at 1-0. Their next official SEK they will play Labette County. I think I just got unplugged. Hopefully, we're back on and going again. We are right underneath the visiting coach's box here at Hutch Field. Is one of the very few fields in high school in Kansas that has boxes on both sides. So we are right underneath the coaches, of course, here this evening. And we are just about ready to get things going as the Tigers will kick off. They will go left to right across your screen on Duckbait TV. And again, thank you so much for joining us here this evening as the Fort Scott Tigers are just about set. To get this rivalry matchup underway. The kickoff is a little short. It's going to be picked up, bobbled for a moment, but picked up there by Pittsburgh. And it'll go through a hole and get it off to the outside, down the sideline, finally knocked out of bounds right around the 45 of Fort Scott. So that's where the Purple Dragons will start. I believe that was Grant O'Doherty on the return that time for Pittsburgh. And they will place the ball in the 46. So starting this first possession, Pittsburgh will start at the Fort Scott 46. So see, Fort Scott's going to have to bow their neck just a bit here to open the game. Pittsburgh comes out. They're going to be offensively very similar to the Fort Scott Tigers. Tucker Aikens is the quarterback. He hands it off to Wyatt Rink, and he's going to run all the way into the end zone for a very quick touchdown to open the game here tonight. So one play and one touchdown for Pittsburgh here this evening. Looks like Webb Fern will be kicking the extra points. He's slated as the starting quarterback, not starting tonight. Kick is low, but it is, it's no good. Looks like maybe off to the left a little bit. So one play and one score for Pittsburgh. Now Fort Scott will have to see what they can come out with on their first possession. As mentioned, Pittsburgh's going to look very similar to the Tigers on offense. They've got the two slot backs along with the running back and the quarterback in the backfield, just like Fort Scott. They're going to have a couple of receivers when they need them. But they're going to try to run the ball and take as much time as they can in this contest. Fort Scott starting a little bit behind the eight ball here, but they're get things going. Their first opportunity to take the ball, as they're going to have Cal Cousins along with Chase Heyer and Dub Chipman back to receive this kick from Webb Fern and the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. If you're just joining us, again, thanks for joining us on Duckbait TV. Pittsburgh is already on the board. They took one play after a nice kick return. This one's going to be picked up by Cal, and he will run right up the middle. He's got a hole, and he will get up near midfield. He's still going. Finally pulled down at the 49. If Fort Scott says, you know what, Pittsburgh, you can return it, we can too. It's 1st and 10 Tigers on their own 49. Lennox Van is the starting quarterback tonight. We'll see how much he plays along with Colton Rogers. They've kind of split that position this season. They're going to start with Lennox. They started with him last week. Fumbled the snap, but he's going to pick it up. Actually gave it off to Jasper Allison, but he's pulled down in the backfield for a loss of about a yard. So it'll be 2nd down and 11. 11:24 to play here in the first quarter. Again, just underway. Pittsburgh took the opening play of their first offensive drive and took it down for a touchdown. So they lead it 6-0. They actually say no gain on the play. Now Fort Scott's going to get a free 5 yards. They get a man to jump. That's Aiden Davis along the front line there for Pittsburgh. Give Purple Dragon coaches some credit, as they were one of the few teams that actually in high school in the area that has a depth chart. So they sent that to Coach Graham. Coach Graham forwarded that on to us. Of course, that helps us identify the opposing players when we have that depth chart. Van with the carry this time, and he will get a few yards out, really close to the first down. He's going to be about a yard short. It'll be 3rd down and 1, as the ball is on the 42-yard line of Pittsburgh. So Fort Scott trying to continue this possession here. Again, Pittsburgh scored on their first play. Pittsburgh, a little bit more of a sustained drive here to start the game, but they are moving the ball here and have a 3rd and short. Van's going to keep it. He will get the first down, turns it upfield, and he will get a big gain on 3rd and 1. So plenty of room for the first down. So first down and 10 for the Tigers. Looks like they'll put it down right around the 34-yard line. So first and 10, Fort Scott. Lennox so far this season, just 13 carries. Again, he was injured for a good portion of the second half at Paola in week 1. Did not play in week 2 against Springfield Central, and then played at quarterback in the first half last week against Independence, and then was moved to defense for the second half as Colton Rogers played quarterback. Oh, that's a spin around. That'll be a face mask, or either a face mask or a horse collar, either one on Pittsburg here. Fort Scott's going to get some good yardage and hope that Lennox is okay. He's already been battling some injuries. They do say face mask on that one, so it'll be a face mask, 15 yards, and an automatic first down for the Tigers. As they continue to move the ball into Pittsburg territory, they will have the ball. See where they stop those chains. They've got some newfangled chains here at Pittsburg that I don't know if they're doing it with computer chips or what, but they've got, on one of them, they've got the downs, first down, second down, third down, fourth down like normal, but the other one, they've got the yards to gain, or yards to go, which is kind of nifty. Here's a throw towards the near side, and it is intercepted by Pittsburg, and he will go down, as that was Grant O'Doherty, and he landed awkwardly. So he jumped up to intercept the pass, landed awkwardly, and he's already got a knee brace on his right knee anyway, and you just hope he didn't possibly re-injure that. So 9:25 to go. Fort Scott driving, and pass to the near side was to Chase Heyer, I believe, was the intended receiver on this side, and just a little bit too much air underneath it. Pittsburgh intercepts it, but then the bigger question for the Dragons is the health of Grant O'Doherty. A lot has been talked about since week 1 of the NFL schedule about turf, and they've had turf on this field since the mid-2000s. This is the second version of the turf here at Hutch Field. It's a really nice-looking field, and I'll support turf on football fields any day for various reasons, but this may be a turf injury. It doesn't happen as often as some would like you to believe, namely the lineman for the Packers that made the big fuss a couple weeks ago, but we've got some great sponsors here for Duckbait TV that have helped us out this season. A lot of great folks that have helped us out, and we'll have some reads for them in a moment. But you see them on your screen there right now as O'Doherty is up and walking with assistance off the field. I did want to mention, though, a cool thing is going on in a couple of weeks, as the Tigers will have a Tigers Fight Cancer Night, and that's coming up. The dance team is a part of that, and it's going around Facebook, so check that out. Looks like we're about ready to play here again, so we'll get everything set up for that. We'll tell you more about that Tigers Fight Cancer Night in just a little bit. So Pittsburgh's going to have the ball. They are deep in their own territory. And not much on the run that time for Wyatt Rink, a 5'7" senior, who took the first carry of the night and ran it all the way in for the end zone. 9:09 to play. Excuse me. $9:09 to play here in the first quarter. Pittsburgh started on their own 1, it looks like, and now they have the ball at the 2 after a gain of 1 on that previous play. And this time looks like the quarterback's going to keep it. He gets to the outside, but not a lot north and south on the carry that time. Again, it's Tucker Akins, who is listed as the backup quarterback, but he's in there starting in place of Webb Fern tonight. And so he got a few yards there. It'll bring up 3rd down, and they'll call it 4. Actually, about 3rd and 5, according to the sticks on the near side. That's been an adjustment for me here in the first quarter, as we're calling this game on the visitor's side. Don't usually do that, so you got to look in a different spot for those chains. Chains have it 3rd and 5, so that's what we'll call it. Here's a pitch back, and they'll move it or force him up the middle. I don't think he got the first down. He's really close to it, as that was the pitch back. Jasper Allison with the tackle that time for Fort Scott. I think it was Connor Profit with the carry for Pittsburg. It'll be 4th down and 1, so we'll see if Pittsburg will punt it away or if they will go for it here. As we dip towards 7.5 to play in the opening quarter tonight. They casually run a couple of guys on a little bit late here. And it looks like they're going to line up. I don't know if they're going to line up and try to get the Tigers to jump. No, they're going to call timeout. So 7:16 to play here in the first quarter. Pittsburgh has a 4th down and 1 upcoming. They're on their own 11-yard line, though. So if the Fort Scott Tigers can hold here, they will get very good field position. So again, 6-0. Fort Scott trailing, but defense looking at a 4th and 1, so hopefully they can get the stop here. So 4th down and 1 coming for the Pittsburgh offense. They will snap it, and Wyatt Rink, the tailback, will get the first down and plenty of yardage after that. He's all the way up to the 25-yard line of Fort Scott. So 4th and 1, and he got nearly 15. So 1st down and 10 for the, keep wanting to say Gorillas. 1st down and 10 for the Dragons here. Pitch goes to the right side. Shook one tackler and then was shoved out of bounds by Fort Scott. That looked to be Maverick Caswell, who would be in for Grant O'Doherty. Excuse me, Connor Profit with the carry that time. So it'll be 2nd down and 4. Clock is stopped with 6:48 to play here in the first quarter. Fort Scott trying to hold on defense here. Quarterback will keep it, now pitches it. He pitched it, it looked like a forward pitch that time. It doesn't really make any difference because it's a 1st down run to Maverick Caswell. So 1st down and 10. Ball's going to be on the 39-yard line of Pittsburgh. Clock continues to roll. Akins back under center. Again, they're going to be in a very similar formation all night to what Fort Scott runs, and they run it right up the middle again with Wyatt Rink, and he's got some speed. He's going to be chased down from behind. Well, I thought he was going to be. He had two Tigers in pursuit, and they kind of knocked each other off of him, and he ends up in the end zone for another long touchdown run for Wyatt Rink. They're going to snap it, try to go for two. The pitch goes to the corner, and Connor Profit is in for the two-point conversion. So just like that, it's 14-0 in favor of Pittsburgh. 5:57 to go in the first quarter. And again, Pittsburgh leads the Tigers by 2 scores. And that drive went 99 yards as well, as Pittsburgh got the interception after Fort Scott was moving the ball on him really well. Pittsburgh got the interception down at the goal line and took it 99 yards for the score. Jaden Brown to kick off again for Pittsburgh. He will kick this one deep, and it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Tigers will take it at the 20. 5:57 left to go here in the first quarter. It is 14-0 in favor of Pittsburgh. And again, the Tiger offense really should not feel bad about their opening possession. They drove down the field. Really looked pretty good doing it. Just had the turnover there right at the end. Lennox Fan with a carry, and he's going to try to run over a couple of guys. That's the wrestler in him coming out there. And he will get, and now Cedric Martin got in a little bit of a scuffle there with one of the Dragons, and we got a flags coming in. And now there's a flag, I think maybe a flag called on Coach Graham. Coach Graham was upset with good reason. It was a Pittsburgh kid that came in and hit one of the Fort Scott guys late. And Cedric came in to try to help him out, and they may have gotten Cedric on the retaliation. We'll see. There's a flag down in the backfield of Pittsburgh, so they may have gotten both teams, as the flag down with Pittsburgh came out as one of the officials was looking at one of the Dragons that was in that scuffle and have unsportsmanlike on Pittsburgh. So they have not made a motion that they've got offsetting penalties, so they're going to give the penalty in its full to Pittsburgh here. And that may be what the official is saying. Hey, Coach, I got it. So I thought the official on the near side, and now Coach is kind of apologizing there. I think Coach thought the guy on the near side threw the flag on Fort Scott. He threw it late on Pittsburgh, and Coach was upset about that. And I understand that. I mean, it looked like that's what happened. It looked like he threw a flag on Fort Scott when it should have been on Pittsburgh. But they got it sorted out, and the Tigers will have 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Clock rolling, and that was after the play, so that run by Lennox counts. This one will too, unfortunately for the Tigers, as he's going to get maybe a yard there. But that's it. Looked like he had a hole for a moment, but a couple of those defensive linemen, and now there's 2 Purple Dragons coming to talk to the line judge on the near side, and I believe one of them was the one they threw the flag on, number 3, Connor Profit, and I can only imagine that he's saying, hey, watch them too. Not fair that you threw the flag on me and didn't throw it on Fort Scott as well, even though Profit's the one that shoved Lennox in the back late, and now here's a fumble by the Tigers, and it's picked up by Pittsburg. So with 4:51 to go here in the first quarter, Pittsburgh's going to have another possession. And again, very good field position. Ball's going to start on the Fort Scott 46. The first drive started at the Fort Scott. This time the Tigers stopped the back in the backfield. This time it was Stone Perry. Dragons, Stone Perry, Webb Fern. There's a Bow, who's one of the receivers for Pittsburgh. Going to be a loss of 1 on the play by Stone Perry, so it'll be 2nd down and 11 here for the Dragons. Again, Tucker Akins listed as the backup, but he's in there starting tonight at quarterback for Pittsburgh. They'll run a man in motion. Akins will pitch it to that guy. Flag comes in. That may be a block in the back on Pittsburgh. We'll see, as it came in with one of the corners for Fort Scott flying through the eyesight there. Yeah, they're going to get holding on Pittsburgh, so that'll back them up a bit here. .405 to go in the first quarter. Still 14-0 in favor of Pittsburgh. Had a couple of long touchdown runs by Wyatt Rink. That's been all the scoring so far in this game. The Tigers have had 2 pretty good drives. They just turned it over twice. Pittsburgh has taken advantage of that, so this is going to be 2nd down. We'll call it 18. Ball is going to be on the 46 on Pittsburgh's side of the field. Akins back up under center. And he will run it himself. He gets the lost yardage back, but that's about it. It'll be 3rd down and looks like maybe 11.
Quarterback number 11, Tucker Akins on the keeper. On the tackle, number 7, Jesper Ellison. On the number 63, Eli Martin. Playbook with a 3rd down and 11.
So 3rd down and 11. A great opportunity here for the Tigers to force a 4th down. Again, there's only been one of those in this game for Pittsburgh. They'll pitch it to the near side. Oh, great hit in the backfield. Couldn't get him on the ground initially, but they do swarm and pick up the tackle. So great job by the Tigers. Great pursuit by Fort Scott. Yeah, that's J.C. Gross that got in there initially. 4th down, and now they'll call it, 4th and 10. They do give him 1 yard on that previous play. So 4th down and 10. And it looks like Pittsburgh has thrown their punt team out there. So Jaden Brown, who took care of the kickoffs after both touchdowns, is back in punt formation. Left-footed kicker. Nice punt, by the way. Going to be taken back by Cal. He'll run it to the near side. Makes one man miss, makes another guy miss, and gets taken down right around the 15. So decent return there for Cal. 2:19 to play here in the second quarter. And that's where Fort Scott will start. Ball on their own 15. And again, the Tigers have been their own worst enemy to this point with 2 turnovers on both of their possessions. So first down and 10, ball on their own 15. Lennox back in there at quarterback. He will hand it to Jasper Allison, and Jasper trying to nice block by Chase Heyer. There's some flags down on the far side, and they may have gotten a penalty on Fort Scott on the far side. Chase Heyer, though, he had a great block here up the middle as he had his defender on roller skates. And I don't know if they understand. Chase Heyer is not the penalty there. The penalty was in a different spot. Believe it. Oh, it's going to be unsportsmanlike penalty. Pittsburgh just chanted, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do personal fouls. They're going to get Pittsburgh with the penalty instead of Fort Scott, it looks like. Got to be a little bit careful. There are Pittsburgh fans over here on the visiting side. A lot of the students over on the home side. They were the ones chanting as the unsportsmanlike is again going to be on Pittsburgh. Purple Dragons are still So did they call the wrong thing? They called the penalty on Pittsburgh. That's how they motioned it. And now, so they have to go fix it? Did they call it on the wrong team? So yeah, now they got to go figure out as the sticks have moved. Guys got to get on the same page here. And now you've told one of the Tiger coaches, hey, you go sit. I'm going to talk to Bo for a second, but you go sit. And I completely understand the frustration on Fort Scott's side of things. When you call a penalty, you need to know who you're calling it on. And the officials definitely called unsportsmanlike penalty on Pittsburgh. But they have changed it to be on Fort Scott. So they have backed them up. And the Sticks still have no idea where they're going. The officials still have not told the Sticks where to be. Tell you what, we've had some pretty good officiating, in my opinion, the first couple of weeks, but this is horrible. Granted, it's one play, but this is not good. These guys are going to have to turn it around quickly here. So they're going to say 2nd down and 16 for the Tigers. That doesn't make any sense either to me, but that's what they've got. So Fort Scott will take it from here. Lennox with the keeper, and he's going to lose a couple more yards on the play. Lennox coming into tonight, 13 carries, 73 yards, 5.62 yards per carry, 36.5 yards per game. Again, he did not play at all in week 2 and only played in the first half last week at quarterback. So his number's not quite as gaudy as Colton Rogers, especially on the rushing side of things. He's 4 for 14 coming into tonight, 4 for 14 passing. Now we got a whistle again, and Fort Scott's going to take a timeout. So the Tigers going to take their first timeout. They're staring at a 3rd down and 19. Will say on that previous So coming out of the timeout for the Tigers. 1:27 to go here in the first quarter. Fort Scott has a 3rd down and 19. Out of the shotgun is Lennox Van. He will step up, throws it down the middle. He has Chase Heyer wide open, but overthrew him just a little bit. So it'll be 4th down for Fort Scott. He had Heyer coming open across the middle and just didn't put enough air underneath it. And it's incomplete. 4th down and 19 coming up for the Tigers. So they will send Colton Rogers back in punt formation. Colton had a couple of punts last week. 2 punts. It was 38 yards per punt, and both of those ended up inside the 20. Now, he's going to have a mammoth kick to get him inside the 20. In fact, they were not just inside the 20. They were out of bounds at the 4-yard line both times last week. He's going to have a mammoth kick to get it that way, and he kicks it off the side of his foot, out of bounds. Didn't even get to the first down marker. The ball's going to go out of bounds about the 15 or 16-yard line, and Pittsburgh is going to have phenomenal field position here with 1:15 to go in the first quarter. So 1:15 left in the first quarter. And Pittsburgh will start on the Tiger 12-yard line. Handoff goes up the middle, and they just keep shoving the running back forward, and he's going to get down to about the 6, so a gain of about 6 on the play. Maybe even 7. I think that was started at the 13-yard line. So, yeah, 2nd down and 3 now. Handoff goes back to Wyatt Rink, but he gets a yard or 2, but not enough for the first down. So it'll be 3rd down and short here. 42 seconds to play in the first quarter. 35 seconds left on the play clock, so they will have to snap it at least one more time. They hand it off. Oh, Rink again, and he did not get the first down. The Tigers guessed right. Jasper Allison, I believe, is the one that got in there and took him down. So it's going to be 4th down and a yard. And we'll see if Pittsburgh waits till the end of the quarter here to run this final play down to 18, or down to this 4th down play, down to 16 seconds on the game clock. The quarterback, Akins, is talking with the white hat, and that may be what they're going to do. Run the clock down and run the 4th down play as the first play of the second quarter. And the clock does reach 0. So the first quarter is over here tonight. A tough start for the Fort Scott Tigers, but they've had some good moments, so stay with us. 14-0 Pittsburgh. It's 4th down and a yard for the Dragons when you come back here on Duckbait TV. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back. The first play of the second quarter is a touchdown run by Tucker Akins. He faked the handoff and then brought it back around. And was able to scoot through for the touchdown. Two-point try is incomplete.
54 left in our second quarter of play. Our score, Pittsburgh 20, Fort Scott 0.
So 20-0. There is 11 minutes and 54 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And Fort Scott trailing this one. And a short kickoff this time for Pittsburgh. Going to be taken by Dub Chipman. He's going to try to get outside of the near side. He will get around to the 40 and taken out of bounds at the 40 and then thrown to the ground. That ought to be another late hit penalty. I don't see a flag coming out. That was a late hit penalty. Threw him down out of bounds. He was on the purple. So that's 3 yards out of bounds when he threw him down. That's another late penalty that they did not call on Pittsburgh. So tough luck there for the Tigers. But first down and 10 for Fort Scott nonetheless. Ball on the 46. They pitch it to Cousins. He'll get around the right side, gets the first down. Still going, finally brought down right around the 40. So a big gain for Cal Cousins. Pitch to the near side, taken there by, I believe that was Chase. A flag comes in. We'll check the flag. Oh, another penalty on Pittsburgh this time. And they will mark it off. Automatic first down. The ball is all the way down to the 24 of the Purple Dragons. 11:07 left to go here in the first half. And again, it is 20-0 Pittsburgh, but Fort Scott has really been the one that's caused themselves issues here. Pittsburgh jumped a little early, but must not have gone all the way across the line because they kept the play alive. And now another late flag comes in. Somebody better get these guys corralled, and the officials are trying to do their best job. It's a lot of late penalties in this game, and another personal foul on Pittsburgh. But Coach Latimer, former Fort Scott Tiger, is going to need to get his guys reined in a bit. So they're going to half the distance that one. It's going to be down to the 10. Colton Rogers was the ball carry on that previous play. So he gets credit for that carry and then the penalty afterwards. First and goal for the Tigers. Ball on the 10-yard line. Cal is in motion. They'll run the ball to the right side. Lennox slipped one guy but can't slip the second, and will go down right near the line of scrimmage. Second down and goal. Again, ball on the 10. Fort Scott changing wide receivers as they put Ty Marbury back in the game. Cedric Martin will check out. Man in motion. They hand it off to Colton, though, and he will take on all comers. He gets taken down, but he does get about 3 yards on the play. So that brings up third down and goal for the Tigers. Looks like Fort Scott's going to bring in an extra lineman here. Try to go heavy. Clock rolling down towards 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. They'll go quick as well. Hand it off. And I believe that's Colton again. He's going to get down to the 4, maybe the 3. They do blow it dead, though. So it'll be fourth down and goal for Fort Scott. Expect them to go for it here as the clock continues to roll down to 8:47 and counting. We'll call it the 3. It's really in between the 3 and the 4. But it's fourth down and goal. Tigers need to score on this play. Tiger faithful, the almost full crowd here for the Tigers. They're going to hand it off to Cal around the right side. Walking, standing into the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown, Cal Cousins. Run it up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, and then when you bust it outside, there's nobody in a purple shirt for miles as Cal rolls into the end zone easily. The Tigers get on the board here. It's now 20-6. The Lennox van to kick, and we're going to get a false or an offsides on Pittsburg here as they jumped a little too soon. So are they going to go for 2 here? It looks like they're going to as they half the distance that penalty, so the ball's going to be right around the 1.5. So the Tigers going to try to go for 2 here. See if they can steal steal a free point. "12 seconds on the play clock. Lennox calls the play. They break the huddle with 8 seconds on the play clock. Lennox hands it off to Jasper, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. More late flags here. Yeah, there's 2 in the end zone. We'll check those. Hopefully the point counts. I looked away to update the scoreboard, and they called it on Fort Scott. Coach Graham was not happy. He was out near the hash mark of the 10-yard line to ask about that one. He was way out on the field for that explanation. And this game has gotten, well, is it fair to say about as chippy as the Colorado State game the other night? 8:24 to go. This is a long time SEK League rivalry in all sports. Neither of these schools like each other. And to add a little salt to that, a former Tiger, Josh Latimer, is the head coach of the Purple Dragons. Not only that, but I believe he and Coach Graham were teammates at Fort Scott High School. So I'm assuming somebody somewhere along the way tonight made things personal. So the kickoff is going to be from the 15-yard line, as that was after, 25-yard line. So 15-yard penalty after the score. So again, that score counts, but it's going to be after the score on the kick. So they'll have to kick off from the 25-yard line. So Lennox will have to tee that right leg up. He's got a pretty strong one. We've seen him kick off inside the 10 a few times this season so far. That, of course, from the 40. This one a little bit shorter. Going to be taken by one of the up men for Pittsburgh. Try to find a hole. Comes to the near side. Going to be taken down by J.C. Gross. And a couple other Tigers in there as well. Hey, yeah, Ty Marbury needs to get pulled back there. And Coach Glades was not happy about that either. Sometimes, and it's tough, it's hard, man. You got a rivalry game, and everybody is amped up. The Tigers have played really well the last couple of weeks. Really, all three games the Tigers have played well. They're looking to get a big win, ruin Pittsburgh's homecoming. So you're keyed up to an extra level, and then it starts off as chippy as this one has tonight. Flag comes in as the tailback for Pittsburgh. Wyatt Rink is going to run to the left side for a lot of yardage, but we'll check the penalty. As it stands, the ball is going to be inside the 30, but we'll check that flag and see if that's maybe an illegal block or something like that on Pittsburgh. Oh, they called a face mask on Fort Scott. Well, they'll tack on to the end of the run. So the ball goes to, well, maybe not. It was during the play. So I would think they're going to go from the end of the play, which is the 29-yard line. So it'll be half the distance from there. And they'll place the ball on the 15-yard line. So first down and 10 after the penalty, ball on the 15. I tell you what, the officials are leading in the yardage gained in this one so far with all the laundry that's been thrown on the field. Pitch to the near side. Nice tackle by Lennox. Got his head across and made a good form tackle. So 7:22 to play here in the second quarter. 20-8. Pittsburgh with the lead over Fort Scott. But again, a couple of tough penalties on the Tigers here on this possession. Handoff goes left side. Early flag comes in that time. We'll see if that's on Pittsburgh or not. They did get to Wyatt Rink to get him down for a minimal gain, but it is going to be a hold on the Purple Dragons. So exactly 7 minutes to play in the first half of this one, and another penalty. That is the up judge, the back judge maybe. No, not the back judge. The official in the middle that moves the ball on penalties. He is the leading rusher in this game tonight. There's no question about that. Moving it on both teams. Lots of penalties on both sides here. Man in motion for Pittsburgh. The quarterback will keep it around the left side. He'll try to get up the field, and Pittsburgh's going to want a face mask on that one. Looked a little iffy. I think he got the jersey and not the face mask, but they don't throw the flag, so the officials must agree with what I saw. So ball's going to be placed on the 15-yard line. Third down here for Pittsburgh. Pitch goes to Caswell. They go to the left side. Nice hit, taking him out of bounds. He did not get the first down, so he got 6 or 7 yards on the play, but didn't get the first down. Ball is going to be placed on the 8-yard line. And they got to get to the 5. So 4th down and 3 now for Pittsburgh. 5:40 to play. Dragons running a couple guys on, taking a couple guys off, but it looks like their offense is still out there. Akins again, under center. Now we got a whistle. Looks like, Pittsburgh's going to take a timeout. So they will take their second timeout. 5:24 to play here in the So again, Pittsburgh has taken their second timeout now. Your local State Farm agent for home and auto is Cale Nelson. Contact Cale for a quote. You can visit Cale's website at calenelson.com or give Cale a call at 223-2828. Coming out of the timeout, they're going to now Fort Scott's going to call timeout as Pittsburgh came out in a field goal formation. Their PAT formation, which is really used to be called the swinging gate. I don't know if they still call it that or not, but they're line up with 9 guys to the left of the center. They did that on the first one, kicked it, missed. They did that on the second one and just ran it from there and ran a pitch to the right side away from all the blockers and scored a 2-point conversion. So we'll see what they end up doing here after they come out and have another chance to talk about it as the Tigers take their second timeout of the first half. Chad Cousins is your local 1842 Wealth Management Financial Advisor. Contact Chad for more information at chad@1842wealth.com or call Chad at 620-215-9240. .524 to go. It is 4th down and 3, and Pittsburgh brings their offense back out. They'll throw it to the far side, and it is incomplete. So a turnover on downs. And the Tigers will take over. They'll be deep in their own territory, but they will take over. Great defensive stand there for Fort Scott. So ball on the Tiger 8, 1st down and 10. And we got a whistle, and it looks like a jump early on Pittsburgh. So we'll have another 5 to that. It'll be 1st down and 5 now for the Tigers. And this time looks like they'll give it right back. A false start. So 1st down and 10. So the ball will go back to the 8. Those previous penalties will wash out. And we'll be right back where we started at first down and 10. Both teams a bit discombobulated here in the first half. See if they can get that sorted out. They will have halftime in a little over 5 minutes. Hopefully they can sort it out then, if not before. Lennox with the carry that time, and he's got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard positive on the play, but not much more than that. So it'll be second down and long here for the Tigers. Clock dips under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Fort Scott is going to want to try to hit something big to get some yardage down the field. However, you don't want to do anything too quickly and not take plenty of time, as Heyer's going to get the ball to the near side and does cut the corner and get the first down. So Chase Heyer uses that speed he has once again for enough for the first down. They'll place the ball at the 20-yard line, so a pickup on the play. Actually, they'll put it on the 21. So first down and 10 for the Tigers. I was about to say is you want to take a little bit of time because you don't want to go 3 and out in just a few seconds as they hand it off to Cal this time. He's going to try to get to the right side. Gets hit and shoved forward by Pittsburg. So he'll take a couple free yards on that one. And it'll be second down. And well, let's see where they put it down. They're going to put it down right about the 23. So only a couple on the gain for Cal. And we'll send Morgan Shaw in for Cal to get a little bit of a breather. They've got a little bit of a different formation as well with 2 receivers here. Dub Chipman and Chase Heyer both to the near side, split out wide. Tigers with 14 seconds on the play clock, checking their wristbands, and now Lennox will go back to center. Colton Rogers also in there, the tailback. And handoff goes there. We're going to try to fix the camera issue. I believe my battery ran out, so we'll apologize for that. We'll get that fixed here momentarily. But it'll be third down and 3 here for the Tigers. Lennox with the carry. He's going to get to the 40, and a flag comes in. He's going to take it up to the 45. We'll check the flag here and see what that's about. No, I think that's...
Third down and 13. And a timeout, Fort Scott. That'll be their third and final charge timeout of the half.
We've got a battery issue. Chase Heyer with the carry. He's going to run it up the middle, and he gets near the first down. I think I've been unplugged in the press box. We'll try to fix that at halftime, but I think I've been unplugged in the press box, so we'll have to fix that at halftime. I do apologize for that, as we don't have the camera right now. So, but we'll get that fixed at halftime. Hopefully, everything is still on the screen, as we got a pass here to Dub Chipman, a little bit too far down the sideline, and it's incomplete. By the Tigers. Heyer comes to the near side, and he will get to the 42-yard line. Clock continues to roll at 1. And play to the near side here.